Chapter 1: Introduction to the Journey. Welcome to Behind the Bars: Chronicles of Redemption, a profound audio documentary exploring the intricate lives of those navigating the challenges of incarceration within a rehabilitation-focused prison. Our journey begins with our narrator, David, a 27-year-old man grappling with the consequences of his past drug-related choices. As listeners hear the chilling clang of the prison gates shutting behind him, they are invited to experience his first moments of fear and uncertainty within these stark walls. This documentary aims to uncover the resilience and hope that can blossom in even the most desolate places. Through the raw and poignant readings from David's diary, we'll delve into his thoughts, struggles, and ultimately his path toward redemption. Each episode will illuminate the power of storytelling as a means of healing, leaving us to ponder the potential for change that resides in every one of us, regardless of our past. As David places pen to paper in his diary, he recounts the overwhelming sensations of his arrival at the prison. The clanging of the gates reverberates through his mind, a stark symbol of his new reality. His heart races as he steps into the austere environment. Cold metal and gray concrete surround him, amplifying his sense of fear and isolation. He describes the wide-eyed stares of fellow inmates, each of them harboring their own trepidations. In vivid detail, David expresses his anxiety, thoughts of his family, the life he left behind, and the uncertainty of what lies ahead. Interspersed with David's reflections are voices of others, sharing their initial fears and varying backgrounds: a former gang member, a young man wrongfully convicted, and an older inmate serving a life sentence. Together, their narratives create a tapestry of shared vulnerability, a poignant reminder that even in solitude, they are not alone. Chapter 3: Adapting to Life Behind Bars. In the initial weeks of incarceration, the stark routines of prison life begin to take shape. David chronicles his attempts to navigate a world filled with rules and stark realities. Each day unfolds with a regimented schedule: wake-up calls, roll calls, meals served quickly, and mandatory activities. He reflects on the disorientation experienced by many newcomers, where the walls feel both confining and calming, a paradox he struggles to unpack. Amidst this rigid structure, camaraderie begins to blossom as inmates share their stories over lunch. David discovers a surprising sense of community, finding solace in the shared conversations about family and lost dreams. He notes how crucial this support is for emotional survival, as fellow inmates encourage one another, creating informal mentorships. The chapter captures David's gradual acceptance of his new reality, revealing his resilience and the importance of human connection, even in the most challenging circumstances. Chapter 4: Seeds of Change. In the stark corridors of the prison, the potential for transformation begins to take root. David discovers the prison's innovative rehabilitation programs, particularly a writing workshop led by the empathetic Miss Thompson. As he attends the sessions, he confronts his emotional turmoil surrounding addiction and regret. The workshop becomes a sanctuary for introspection, where David finds the courage to put pen to paper and share his story. Writing is a way to breathe, Miss Thompson tells them, encouraging vulnerability. With each entry, David's voice evolves from despair to a more nuanced understanding of himself. He learns that he's not alone in his struggle. Fellow inmates like Maria, a former gang member, share their own transformative experiences, highlighting the universal quest for redemption. The workshop ignites a spark in David, planting the seeds of change that will foster hope and resilience in the face of adversity. Chapter 5: Finding Purpose in Storytelling. In the quiet isolation of his cell, David begins to uncover the profound power of writing as a means of self-reflection and healing. His diary entries evolve significantly, shifting from mere accounts of despair to deep explorations of his inner world and aspirations for redemption. As he pours his heart onto the page, he discovers a voice that had long been silenced by addiction and regret. Guided by Miss Thompson, the compassionate instructor of the writing workshop, David learns that storytelling is not just an escape, it's a pathway to understanding. She encourages him to articulate his pain, to confront his past, and to envision a future beyond prison walls. Other inmates like Maria share similar revelations during the workshops, recounting how writing has allowed them to confront their traumas. This newfound purpose infuses hope into their lives, laying the groundwork for personal transformation and connection in a place once defined by isolation. Chapter 6. Unlikely Alliances. Within the stark confines of the prison, unexpected friendships emerge that challenge preconceived notions of loyalty and trust. David reflects on his growing bond with Aaron, a seasoned inmate with a calming presence and a wealth of life experience. Their late-night conversations in the common area become a sanctuary, where laughter often intertwines with moments of vulnerability. Aaron shares tales of his youth, revealing a complicated past marked by tough choices, yet he radiates hope for the future. Through these discussions, David learns the importance of mentorship and accountability. Their shared moments highlight the fragility of hope and the courage required to change. As trust builds, they delve into deeper topics: repentance, dreams, and the daunting desire to break free from their pasts. This chapter showcases the transformative power of human connection, illustrating that even within the most challenging environments, alliances can form, igniting the spark of personal growth and resilience. Chapter 7. Understanding the Past. In this pivotal chapter, David sits in the dim light of his cell, pen in hand, reflecting on the stories of his fellow inmates. Through his diary, he documents the confessions of Maria, who shares her painful journey from gang life to imprisonment, illuminating the struggles that led her to make irreversible choices. Another voice emerges, James, who recounts a tragic accident that resulted from a moment of anger, revealing his regret and yearning for forgiveness. These narratives intertwine, showcasing the common threads of despair, accountability, and the quest for redemption. David grapples with his own past, realizing that understanding the motivations behind others' actions helps him confront his own demons. As walls of shame begin to crumble, themes of empathy and collective healing take root among the inmates, illuminating the path toward acceptance and growth. In this shared vulnerability, they find solace, preparing themselves for a future filled with hope. Chapter 8. Breaking Down Walls. In the heart of the prison, vulnerability becomes a powerful catalyst for connection. David reflects on the profound moments when inmates share their deepest fears, desires, and regrets. Surrounded by stark concrete walls, these candid discussions reveal the complexities of their humanity, illuminating the emotional barriers they are desperate to dismantle. In a particularly poignant conversation with Maria, she opens up about the pain of losing her son to violence, evoking tears and solidarity among peers. The shared experience of confronting their pasts allows the inmates to forge unlikely friendships, reminding them that they are not defined solely by their crimes. David, once hesitant to express his own struggles, finds the courage to share his story, fostering an environment of trust. In these intimate moments, the lines between guilt and forgiveness blur, and the seeds of healing begin to take root, guiding them all toward a brighter future. Lessons from the outside. As David sits in the dim light of his cell, he eagerly unfolds a letter from his younger sister, Emily. Her words, filled with love and longing, transport him back to their childhood, memories of playing in the park and shared laughter. Emily writes about her struggles adjusting to life without him. She misses her brother's guidance and protection. The emotional weight of her letter reverberates in David's heart, compelling him to reflect on the ripple effects of his choices. He marks a passage in his diary, noting how these glimpses of familial love ignite a flicker of hope within him. Fellow inmates share their own letters, revealing a tapestry of connections that tie them to the outside world. The chorus of voices echoes the importance of these relationships, reminding them that redemption is not just about self-forgiveness, but also about rebuilding bridges with those they hold dear. Chapter 10. Moments of Crisis. In the heart of the prison, the unthinkable occurs when an inmate suddenly collapses during a group exercise. Panic ripples through the yard, and the eerie silence is punctuated only by the frantic shouts for medical help. David's diary entries capture the palpable tension as the inmates gather around, their usual bravado replaced by a shared vulnerability. Thoughts race through David's mind. He reflects on the fragility of life behind bars and the urgency of change as he witnesses the emergency unfold. As medical staff rush in, the community of inmates rallies together, holding each other close during this crisis. Conversations shift from toughness to heartfelt discussions about their fears and the lives they could lose. In the aftermath, David and his peers grapple with the reality that they must confront their past choices, spurring a renewed commitment to change. This moment not only deepens their bonds, but ignites a collective desire for redemption. Chapter 11. Reevaluating Choices. In the wake of the crisis, the atmosphere within the prison has shifted dramatically. David sits in the dim light of his cell, reflecting deeply on his past choices and the impact of his actions on others. The shock of the medical emergency resonates through the corridors, prompting conversations among the inmates that delve into themes of regret and accountability. Around him, men share their stories of loss and redemption, revealing the hidden scars of their pasts. David listens as Aaron speaks passionately about the necessity of change, reminding him that they hold the power to redefine their narratives. Inspired by these discussions, David resolves to embrace a new perspective on his life. He begins to take ownership of his choices, envisioning a future where he can contribute positively to society. The camaraderie and support of his peers solidify his determination, laying the groundwork for a transformative journey ahead. Chapter 12. Preparing for Parole. As the anticipation of parole hearings approaches, the prison buzzes with a mix of hope and anxiety. David's diary entries reflect the weight of this moment, capturing his fears and dreams as he contemplates life beyond bars. In conversations with Aaron and fellow inmates, they share stories of ambition and the darker echoes of regret, reminding each other of the stakes involved. Warden Lawson convenes a meeting, emphasizing the prison's commitment to rehabilitation. He encourages the inmates to see their upcoming hearings not as judgments, but as opportunities for reflection and growth. The sound design paints a vivid picture of restless pacing, whispered prayers, and the quiet determination that fills the communal spaces. Within these walls, each inmate prepares to face their past and present their narratives, hoping for a second chance. David feels both the thrill of possibility and the heavy burden of uncertainty as he writes late into the night, pursuing clarity in his thoughts. Chapter 13. Hearing the Heartbeat of Change. As the day of the parole hearings dawns, a palpable tension fills the air of the prison. David sits with his peers, their collective anxiety echoing through the hallways. The sound of gavel bangs and hushed whispers melds with David's diary entries, reflecting his hopes and fears. Each inmate listens intently as their names are called, hearts racing, knowing that their future hangs in the balance. When David's name resonates in the chamber, time seems to suspend. He walks into the room, a mix of determination and trepidation coursing through him. The questions posed by the parole board strike at the core of his journey, a blend of remorse for his past and a fervent hope for a different future. As the decision looms, the surrounding sounds of other hearings blend into a symphony of human desire and second chances. Ultimately, the outcomes vary, but the air pulses with the heartbeat of change, a testament to their shared resilience.